At almost 3,000 square kilometers, Kaeng Krachan is Thailand's largest national park. Local and international visitors come for the views and for the wildlife, including great hornbills and other kinds of hornbills, which the park and Thailand in general is famous for. But there are many other birds too. Large birds such as serpent eagles, small birds such as the many flycatchers. There are colourful birds which are fairly common, and also many other less common colourful birds which sometimes you have to find through the sound alone. There are many broadbills who are generally quite quiet, hard to see. And then of course there are a range of woodpeckers which alert you through their sound and their hammering. People come to see the mammals. If they were lucky enough, they'll see the gaur. Perhaps even something bigger, like the wild elephants that roam the park. And all of these creatures, and many more, are there in Kaeng Krachan. My first encounter on entering the park on this occasion, on the road along to Kaeng Krachan campsite, about 14 kilometers from the entrance to the park, was this beautiful muntjac, or barking deer. I'm especially interested in them because not only being beautiful, they're also prey of leopards. After setting up camp and grabbing a bite to eat, I headed along the track beyond the campsite and over the stream crossings. And I was lucky to see not only pied hornbills, but the magnificent great hornbills too. With males and females being almost identical in size and coloration of the feathers, it's very difficult to tell them apart. However, on close inspection, the male has red eyes and his yellow casque has a little bit of black at the front, whereas the females have white eyes surrounded by red and there isn't any darkness on the casque. This one, I think, is a male. I can't quite see the eyes, but there seems to be black on the front of the casque. Something I really love about great hornbills is that you seldom see them alone. They partner for life, and in this case, the juvenile was also still with them, and the juvenile stays with the parents for many years. It's lovely to see them, a family of 3. With a huge body length of up to 120 centimetres and a wingspan of up to 180 centimetres and weighing an average of 3 kilograms, you would think that great hornbills would be easy to spot. But like nearly every bird and creature that I've ever seen in a national park, that's not the case. They're very difficult to find. They will sit still for ages silently in the trees and you'll never know they're there. Like so many things, the best thing is to listen for their sound, a weird nasal growl, or the massive whirring beat of the wings that sounds like a helicopter. I'm always happy with whatever I see in Kaeng Krachan, but on this occasion, on this weekend, I was looking for bears, gibbons, and above all, leopards. First though, after a quick meal, it was time for a little herbing. Oh, look at that beautiful white-lipped pit viper.
Big old.
Your average size.
Camera. Take my camera.
Lovely diamond shape, isn't it? Oop, 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 oop. Oh, oh, hello. And so ended the first half day. Surely can't be many more things that are more invigorating and enriching than sitting there, surrounded by nature, coffee in hand, watching the world around you wake up. A lovely morning after a night of rain. Perhaps fantastic night's sleep. It was really lovely, about the best night's sleep I've had here. Despite the fact that the bear was kind of going around, I actually slept better than I've ever slept. It was lovely, and it was raining throughout the night. Could hear the scops owl down there, and crickets chirping and frogs, and that was it. And there's a woodpecker, and the hornbills are up. Squirrels have been making a noise. Various other small and medium birds. It's a lovely morning. I'm going to have my coffee, and I'm going to drive up again, past the stream, and sit for the leopard now that it's getting light. And this is Kaeng Krachan, and this is how I like it. And it was beautiful, beautiful last night. Really peaceful. Kaeng Krachan used to be like a logging camp, and I think it was stopped or disbanded in the early 70s or late 70s. And of course, Kaeng Krachan was made into a national park, and then since then a World Heritage Site. But this area right here, where the campsite is, was the centre of the logging camp. I'm not too sure how big that is. I want to actually see some pictures of what it looked like back in the day. But you can still see remnants of what, there had been something. There's little bits of rock flattened bit over there where there must have been some kind of building standing, or very small building. So I'm not too sure what it was like back in the day, but you can still see little bits around, but nothing that disturbs nature or the peace of the place or the beauty of it. So, a bit more coffee, and we'll be ready to head up and find a leopard. Oh, lovely. Hornbills. As well as pied hornbills and giant squirrels, dusky langurs are residents in and around the campsite, and you can see them quite easily on most mornings, even before the sun's up. There's plenty of wildlife in and around Kaeng Krachan. In fact, all of the pictures and videos from the beginning of this video were taken very close by. Many people who stay there are content with just staying at the campsite, and there's plenty to see. But I could hear gibbons in the distance, and that was enough for me to be reassured that I should get out before the sun came up to try to find some, and even better, to try to spot a leopard. But eager as I was to venture once again deeper into the jungle, I thought of Davis's poem, and to paraphrase it, "What is this life? Full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. I could certainly afford a few moments to look at this beautiful grey-headed canary flycatcher. So I'm here hoping and waiting for the leopards again. Here's stream 2. I'm nicely concealed with a good view of part of the track and the area where it's been spotted, if you pardon the pun, a few times recently. And the good thing is there's nobody else here, which is a bit of a surprise. Fingers crossed. I might end up not getting video footage if it does come out. I'm just trying to get some photographs, but let's see. I'd just love to see it. Not much of a sport though, watching spiders. Tends to be a bit like cricket. Spiders are not something I'm afraid of, and certainly not a beautiful golden orb spider like this, which only has mild venom anyway. But I didn't want to destroy its web, and I certainly didn't want it running across my face, which has happened before. It is lovely, and the smell's incredible, because there's loads of fresh because it's growing, basil, sweet basil. There's a knock through here. Lovely and wet. You really do need a sturdy footwear as you're going through this, not for grip as such. Obviously going through rivers, feet get wet if it's above that, but just for snakes really, a bit more protection. Wow, I just learned from being at the snake farm last week that termite mounds and bits of kind of dead trees where termites will be in like this are the ideal place where cobras like to lie in amongst and underneath. Not so much for the termites, I think, just because it's somewhere there. Oh, there. There'll be lots of holes in there. Yeah. And potentially a cobra, and I just can't for the life of me think whether that would be a monocled cobra or a king cobra. I think it's king cobras rather than monocled. Ooh. Possibly just a squirrel's annoyed some hornbills there. I think. I'd rather it was a leopard scared a squirrel. Ah, and another big termite mound there. Can't see any cobras, but then again, I wouldn't see them very easily. And it's not like they hiss and rattle and stuff like that. Most snakes are completely silent. You'll be right next to them even if they're moving and you'll never see them. Oh no, I thought I seen them. I saw some bright green there. And somewhere just from here, I thought there was a viper there on the branch. Just the angle I was at, it looked straight at the leaves. Can't find there. And I looked up and I thought, oh my god, I thought there's a pit viper. It's a beautiful bright light green. Looked elongated on the branch. It's not, it's just a leaf. Tell you what, this drill's bloody overgrown since the last time I came along it. Tripod is getting caught on the branches quite a lot. Maybe not a good idea this, because I can't see anything. A lot of spider webs as well, which gives the impression that it hasn't been walked along for a while. People don't normally walk along here in the rainy season, and as I say, this is the scary trail, the Chang Yep trail. I don't think because the Chang stands on you, but I think the Chang would originally make this sort of trail. And this of course is where we almost literally bumped into the male elephant a few months ago, just along here actually, just past here. So I didn't see it very easily then, in amongst the foliage. I'll definitely not see it now. Alright, onward. Whoa. That's a bit better. So just a bit further up here is where we did actually encounter the elephant. I didn't encounter the elephant that time, nor anything else of note really, so I decided to head back out and move on further up the track to where I knew there was a leopard with 2 cubs living. Hey. Oh yeah. What are you eating? Just a bit of those leaves. I could do with some breakfast as well. I've had some coffee and a banana and a kiwi fruit and a bit of chocolate bread. I don't want any of your leaves though, don't worry. About 30 or 40 centimetres long, I'd say, a bit more, 40, 50. And tortoises like this, according to Jamie, they're pretty rare because of course they're endangered. And these ones are endangered of course because of the shells and the pet industry. And this one, I had no idea how much they were worth. Jamie said that this could fetch anything between 50 and 80,000 baht for something like this. And obviously they're pretty easy to catch. If you wanted to, you could just pick it up and stick it in the back of the car there. So we'll just have to hope that everybody coming past is here for all the good reasons and not to make some money out of an amazing, huge tortoise like this. Look at that armoured claws. There he goes, he retreats in. And I don't want to upset you, but just I'm going to show everybody what you're like underneath and see how heavy you are. That's the underneath. You should have a tail at the back. Hissing a little bit. Oh, he must be about 15 kilograms. Okay, I'm going to put you back down. Put you back down. And leave you here. There you go. and hope that nobody comes along and decides that you deserve to be somewhere else, because this is clearly your home and this is where you deserve to be. Despite what the editing might suggest there, I didn't put the tortoise in the back of the car, but I did take its lead, and I proceeded fairly slowly up the road, because not too far from here somebody had seen a leopard actually lying on a branch of a tree across the river only a few days earlier. It was time for a quick spot of lunch at a beautiful place near the entrance to a trail which isn't actually a trail, just before you head up towards Penantung. And what better than the queen of fruit, the mangosteen, from nature's own boughs. I needed to march on my stomach. I was heading into a part of the jungle where, to be honest, it can be a little bit scary at times, especially because of all the many times I've been in there, I've never ever seen anyone, except on the few occasions that I've gone in there with a friend, with Jamie or Mike or Dan. After about 20 minutes at a good walking pace, and after crisscrossing the river a couple of times, you go along the top and then you drop back down towards the river in this area which is quite open. This area is where a lot of creatures have been spotted on trail cams and where there's quite an amount of research. These include hog badgers, bears, gaur, martens, mongooses, and leopards. It is a beautiful, peaceful, but remarkably eerie area. In fact, only a couple of months earlier, we had found a hog badger's carcass just here. On inspection, it had slashes and bite marks from not one, but 3 leopards, the mother and 2 cubs. We showed photographs that we took of it to a ranger, and he said that very often the mother leopard will catch and kill something like a hog badger, and she will leave it there for the young cubs to practice on, even though it's already dead. Only a few days after encountering the carcass, we managed to see some footage that had been taken on a trail cam just up here, which showed a hog badger moving past at about midnight, and then a leopard crossing the same path only an hour or so later. I saw something there. I saw something watching me. Oh, the start that gave me. But because I just thought it was a black leopard. I sat silent and motionless at a spot where a number of game trails intersect, near where there's a trail cam, and near where we've seen footprints as well as evidence in the trail cam of numerous different animals. I kept my vigil for well over an hour, and it was very, very quiet. I didn't see anything or hear anything apart from the odd bird. Sometimes I felt like eyes were watching me. It would be very, very difficult to see anything in the undergrowth, even at close range, unless it moved or made a noise. The funny thing about the jungle is, once you've settled there and you feel really at one with your surroundings, instead of worrying about all of the animals and creatures around you that could theoretically rip you apart, trample you, or kill you with their toxins, you come to realize that all these creatures are there, like they should be, because that's where they always are. But now you're there with them, and you're all part of the same thing. Well, once again, no leopard this time round. Well, there's still the chance on the way back down on the road, of course, but very slim chance. But wow, it's only 10:30. I feel like I've been up forever, and it's just, oh, that's enough. I could stay until dusk, then make a late night head back, but I think I'm going to get a bite to eat and drive back up, and I'm thoroughly contented again with my couple of days here in Kaeng Krachan, my favourite place, and somewhere that everybody should visit, especially those who live in Thailand or here in Southeast Asia. It's an absolute treasure. Just can't overstate how places like this are so important for wildlife and humanity, and I'm just so happy that I get a chance to come here. Long may that time last. Although I always hoped to see something more, I thought I was done for the day. But as I headed out and back down the track towards camp, I was in for a big surprise. Come out and let me see you before this battery goes flat. I've never got good video footage of gibbons. This might be the chance. There we are. There you are. Very backlit, but I can see you jumping, buddy. I think that's another one up there. Oh, should have stuck with you, shouldn't I? Oh, where are you? Just so you fly. There he is. Hello. Wow. Hello. Is he waving to me? Hello to you. Exciting as it is, stumbling upon wildlife unexpectedly is always a challenge. Where are you? I didn't have time to get the tripod out or set it up. The battery was gone down on the vlogging camera, and I needed to keep the 500mm lens on the D500 for static shots. It's surprisingly hard to handhold even just a 300mm telephoto zoom lens when you're moving it around and trying to see animals between the trees, especially in the harsh light. Oh man, look at you. Wow. Thank you. Nonetheless, I was just over the moon to see and get some footage of these beautiful creatures. Oh, there's another one swinging around behind there as well. Oh, I missed the big jump of the other one. Not to worry. Lost you. Where have you gone? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're facing me. Oh. Oh, hey buddy. Oh, beautiful man. Oh, is that another one coming? What's going on there? Wow. Oh, what a phenomenal end to the weekend. How amazing is that? Gibbons. Oh man, seriously. Couldn't have scripted that better. Oh, you still there? That's just incredible. What a beautiful end. Oh. I heard them making the noise as we came past and oh, will I get some shots, and then I talked to them and they came out and they just put on displays, and there was the daddy one and there was the mummy with the little one on it, and they're still going around. They've come and they've shown to me and they've sat there looking at me, and oh, incredible. Finish off with some gibbons. Oh, and the sound. Ah, lovely. Honestly, you gotta laugh. That was just brilliant. Thank you. I honestly couldn't believe how lucky I was to chance on those gibbons just at the right time before leaving. But unbelievably, nature had another trick up its sleeve, right at the campsite. 5 metres from him. He found something that he's licking on the ground. But now the breeze is right behind me, just realised. But he's not interested in me at all, hopefully. He's onto the level with me here. I think that one's Factong rather than Canoon. Factong and Canoon, or pumpkin and jackfruit, are the names that the rangers have affectionately given to two male sun bears which have been making regular appearances in the campsite at Kaeng Krachan. I'd been fortunate to see and get a few photographs of one of these bears during daylight a month or so earlier, but I'd never managed to get any good video footage on the camera. Asian sun bears, like all bears, have got an exceptional sense of smell, and it's said that they can smell food from up to 10 kilometers away. I didn't want the wind to change. And so there I was, kneeling on the grass with a 65-kilogram bear in front of me. As the title of this video suggests, I had come down for the weekend with the hope of seeing 3 mammals and getting video footage: gibbons, bears and leopards. But to be honest, I never come down with expectations, because when you have expectations, you set yourself up for failure. I hope to see these, but I hope to see anything. I think I could consider my weekend from 3 different perspectives. First, I was unlucky because I didn't see a leopard. Second, I was lucky to see gibbons and a bear. Or third, and by far the best, is to think that I had a chance to spend some valuable time in a beautiful place, enjoying many experiences, and on top of that, the bonus, I managed to see gibbons and a bear. You see, life really isn't about what you have, but about what you do with what you have. As always, my 24 hours in Kaeng Krachan taught me something really valuable. We all complain about not having enough time, but the truth is, half the time, we don't make the most of the time that we do have. Our time on this beautiful planet is absurdly short, but whether you choose to spend it in a jungle or in a shopping mall, alone or with others, we can fill it and make the most of it.